Good morning, students. This lesson is for class 7 for the subject of biology, chapter number 1, plant and animal tissues of your textbook titled Concise Biology, Selena Publishers. It is being submitted to you on 5th of April 2021. Dear students, let us recall the term cell that you have already studied. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. All living organisms, that is, plants and animals, are made up of tiny microscopic cells. So, cells are the building blocks of life. And children, the term cell was coined by Robert Hooke in 1665. The living substance of the cell is called protoplasm. It is made up of cytoplasm and nucleus. On the basis of the number of cells, the organisms have been categorized as unicellular organisms, that is, single-celled organisms. For example, bacteria, amoeba, yeast, and paramecium. And the multicellular organisms, that is, many-celled organisms. For example, rose, neem tree, frog, and snake. A cell is capable of independent existence and performs all the basic functions of life. The development of electron microscope revealed that cytoplasm of the cell contains many tiny structures called cell organelles. The main cell organelles are endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, lysosomes, plastids, and centrosome. Just as there are organs in an organism for different functions, so are the organelles inside the cell. The functions of these organelles have already been learned in class 6. So now children, let us know about the term tissue and the different tissues present in plants and animals. A group of similar cells dedicated to perform specific function is called a tissue. In multicellular organisms, there is division of labor, where different group of cells take up different functions. The cells specialized to carry one particular function occur together and form a cluster of cells that have a common origin, shape, and structure. Such a cluster of similar cells in the body forms a tissue. Remember, children, all multicellular organisms start their life as a single cell. That is, the fertilized egg or zygote. The fertilized egg then divides repeatedly to produce thousands, millions, or billions of cells. The cells organize to form tissues, tissues organize to form organs, and organs further form organ systems. And the organ systems are present in both plants and animals of higher organisms. And then what we say? Organism. The bodies of plants and animals consist of different types of tissues, each of which performs a specific function. Most plant tissues are supportive and provide mechanical strength. They need less energy and maintenance, while animal tissues carry out different functions and need more energy. Tissue organization is simple in plants, but in animals, tissue organization is complex. So, we are going to discuss plant tissues first. Plant tissues can be divided into two kinds: meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Meristematic tissues, which divide actively. Permanent tissues have non-dividing cells performing particular function. So let's take meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissues are made up of young, compactly arranged, undifferentiated living cells that keep dividing and add new cells throughout the life of a plant. They are responsible for the growth and development in plants. This tissue is present at the growing parts of a plant, such as the tips of the shoot and root. These are also called growth tissues. Now, children, let's discuss the structure of meristematic tissue. Here, the cells are small in size and they actively divide to form new cells. Cells are compactly arranged without intercellular spaces. Cell wall is thin and made up of cellulose because the cell has to divide to form new cells. Each cell has a large, prominent nucleus and dense cytoplasm. Location of meristematic tissues. Meristematic tissue are located at three positions, and on the basis of that, it is apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and lateral meristem. Apical meristem is present at the growing tips of stem and roots. It helps in growth and elongation of stem and root. Lateral meristem is present at lateral sides of stem and root. It increases the diameter and thickness of stem and root. intercalary meristem is present at the base of leaves, nodes, and internodes. It increases the length of the plant. Children, you can perform an activity at home to observe the growing tips of roots. For that, take a fresh onion and place it on the top of water-filled jar. Take care that roots of onion should be submerged in water while remaining part should be above the water surface. Observe after a week and you will see the roots have elongated. They have white colored tips that represent the meristematic tissue. With this topic, I am ending up today's interactive session. But before ending the lesson, let us do a quick recapitulation by answering the following questions. Number 1. Name the tissue that is composed of cells that divide repeatedly. Number 2. The structural and functional unit of life. Number 3. The type of cells of meristematic tissue. Number 4. The tissue which causes the increase in length of the plant. And number 5. The tissue which increases the thickness of roots and stem. And the answers are number 1, meristematic tissue, number 2, cell, number 3, cells of meristematic tissue are small in size and they actively divide to form new cells. It has a large prominent nucleus and dense cytoplasm. Number 4, apical meristem. And number 5, lateral meristem. Now children, as your home assignment, do the following questions. Number 1, define the terms tissue and organ. Number 2, what is a meristematic tissue and how is it different from permanent tissue? Number 3, which living material would you take to demonstrate meristematic tissue? And number 4, what is the function of meristematic tissue? Thank you, children.